This Las Vegas real estate market in 2025 presents a unique landscape, especially when viewed from the lens of historical cycles and the experiences of both agents and consumers. Hello everyone, let me tell you what's going on in Las Vegas. My name is Adrian Ornelas. I'm a real estate agent, real estate broker here in Las Vegas. I've been helping people buy and sell homes for 19 years. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home here in Las Vegas in 2025, you'll probably notice things feel a little bit different. As a real estate agent on the ground, I can tell you that it's a market that keeps us on our toes, consistently shifting with the seasons, reacting to the latest headlines, and definitely presenting its own set of challenges for buyers and sellers alike, as well as us agents. But here's the thing, while it might feel volatile compared to the boom years we've seen recently, this isn't necessarily a sign of a market gone wrong. In fact, I'd argue that we're experiencing now is actually a return to a more normal real estate environment, one that echoes the dynamics of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I personally like this market much better when it's slower like this because it allows everyone to make much more calculated decisions without having to rush one way or the other. And today, as a bonus, stay tuned at the end of the video. We're going to have a Q&A for sellers and buyers. The ever-fluctuating and seasonal nature of the market and how it impacts the consumer. Think about it from a consumer's perspective, or you as the buyer or the seller. Gone are the days of bidding wars on every single property and homes flying off the market in just hours. Today, buyers have more breathing rooms in certain locations and not in others, but also it varies by certain weeks. They can actually take their time and attend to multiple showings and even negotiate offers. The seasonality we're seeing, where the market picks up in the spring and summer and tends to cool down in the fall and in the winter, that's a hallmark of a more balanced market. Which if you think back to 2020, 2021, and 2022, that wasn't really the case. Over the years, I have studied and analyzed the real estate market from the 80s and the 90s, but I have also asked people who experienced those markets how they felt buying their homes in those years. So let's just say that those days, you wouldn't necessarily expect the same frenzy year-round as we have experienced the past 10 years. Interest rates played a significant role then, just as they do now, influencing affordability and buyer activity. The environment and the interest rate weather seems very similar to today. News sensitivity impacts agents and consumers. The news cycle has much more immediate impact now thanks to the speed of information. At ground level, the news is always delayed about 3 days to a week when it comes to the public's activity, but when it hits the news's focus, it amplifies activity extremely fast. For example, if the news reports more buyer activity caused by lower mortgage rates or a new trend, more people tend to take action based on what they see on the news. And the same goes for bad news. We may see a week or several weeks of negative market headlines and it impacts people's perception of what to do next. As consumers consume information from different sources, it forces us as agents to stay on top of real data sources and perception of market fluctuations to better help our clients. For me personally, I have to look at the real numbers happening through our MLS, showing homes going on the market, how many each week go on the market, and then paying attention to those homes staying on the market longer or selling quickly. This allows me to gauge our market velocity every day to be able to advise my clients much better. So a shift in interest rates announced by the Fed, an economic forecast, even local news about job growth and potential industry changes, these can all ripple through the real estate market quickly. As agents, we're constantly monitoring these factors to advise our clients much better. For consumers like you, us staying informed is crucial. Just like in the 70s with the energy crisis and economic shifts, or the 90s with various economic cycles, external events directly influence buyer and seller confidence and overall market activity. Why today's market is in 2020 through 2022, the boom versus normalcy. Now let's be clear, the period from the early 2000s to the early 2020s was in many ways an anomaly. We saw unprecedented levels of speculation, historically low interest rates for an extended period of time, and rapid appreciation in home values that wasn't sustainable. So those two eras were fueled by factors that aren't prevalent in today's market. Compared to the early 2000s, lending practices are more regulated today, and while demand is still present in Las Vegas, it is not the same fever pitch we experienced back in 2020 or 2021. So this isn't a bubble bursting, it's more of a market recalibrating to a healthier pace. Echoes of the past, the 1990s, 1980s, and 1970s from an agent perspective. As an agent who studied market trends, what we're seeing now has strong parallels to the real estate landscape of the 1990s. In the 90s, the interest rates fluctuated, the market had its ups and downs, and careful analysis and strategic pricing were key to success for both buyers and sellers. Now in the 80s, with higher interest rates and economic shifts also demanded a more patient and informed approach. And even in the 70s, marked by inflation and economic uncertainty, saw a real estate market that was sensitive to these broader trends. So agents in the 70s, 80s, and 90s had to be skilled negotiators and understand the local demand and supply. Navigating the new normal, the consumer today has more power. So what does all this mean for you as a consumer? It means that while the Las Vegas real estate market in 2025 requires careful navigation and realistic understanding of current condition, it also presents really good opportunities. For buyers, there's more time to make informed decisions and potentially negotiate better terms. For sellers, strategic pricing and patient marketing are essential in this market. This market isn't the runaway train of recent past, but a market that rewards knowledge, patience, and a good real estate partner that can help you. Understand these historical parallels that can help you approach the market with a more grounded and informed perspective. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Let's jump to our Q&A. Question: I want to sell my home. In this market, should I fix my house before I put it on the market? Will I get less money for it if I don't fix it? In today's market, if you can and have the funds to rehab your home, fix the things that you know need to get fixed, and update whatever is very old, you definitely should. In this market, like no other we have seen in the past 25 years, buyers are more picky about what they buy, not because they are bad people, but because most likely they don't have the funds to invest back into the home after they have worked so hard to save for a down payment, closing cost, and today's high mortgage rates. Now, if you can invest into your home to fix things, you will still have someone interested in buying your home without a doubt, but it will just get you a lower sales price, which isn't the end of the world. Your home will still sell. If you're considering a move to Las Vegas or have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video to know exactly what's happening in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.